Greenwinds 4. 2 years to make this map. And some people after playing it seem to have changed their opinion on Halo having a battle royale. Now the question that I ask after finishing this is, how did I get here? Well, in order to fully understand how it all happened, we have to go way back in time, when the first Untold map pack was released and 1.0 was out. Alright, as soon as we drop in, which is a feature that people at Project Autumn have requested, you pretty much can see right off the bat an issue with 1.0, which is that some areas are very detailed, like this space over here. It had pelicans, it had turrets, and the structure consumed a lot of props. If we go up here, you can see that there are plenty of trees and sky bases like this one. Also, here's a look from afar from the base. There are many sniper nests like this one which were added, and that building inside there was a problem. You could get stuck from it. And if we go to this other sky base, which this one had a health kit that I added in. Another issue with 1.0 is that on the top was blocked, so you couldn't get out. So you had to go below, through this cave. And there was no way in it with a man cannon, which was added in future versions. So you had to go through that bridge over there. And that coast was pretty barren. As you can see, there were no structures, no nature, just a simple coast. And the base, as you can see, it had steel detail on it. And there's not much to comment. It's pretty barren, had detail, and there are areas that were intentionally locked. Now if we go to the Pinnacle Island, you can see that there's still a lot of detail. But the layout is very tight and claustrophobic. More on this later. Which is surrounded by bridges all the time. There are the diagonal bridges and then there are the spiral bridges. And there was one way in teleportation. If you go to the Pinnacle Island, you arrive at the Central Island. There was no way out. Now if we go to the Coliseum, you can see that the area is pretty exposed at the beginning of the bridge, which it was an obvious cross-mapping spot. Cross-map sniping spot. Now, nevertheless, it was like still not good. Now, if we go to the Coliseum, you can see that it's too complex, too many ways in to get to places. There were still many props that were eating the budget, so there was no time for detail. The screenshots, you can see how it was at the beginning, how many detail it had, in comparison to this. And that was pretty much it. This was 1.0. The first of many versions of Project Greenwinds. But wait, something happened. Shortly after the Untold Map Pack launch, I released 1.2. Now initially I used this as a test bed because I didn't know where to take it. There were so many things that were wrong that I don't know. The first thing that I did address though was allowing you to go back and forth to places instead of just one way in and you're screwed. So I added this bridge over here that should address that, and the base over here pretty much just got an overhaul. Instead of adding pelicans and pretending that it is an actual base, it's just a forest base. And if we go up here, pretty much I added some trees and I was removing part of the scenery because the budget now was limited and constrained. This tree and rock will last for some time. The sniper nest and building is fine, but now you can actually go above without having to go below. There's this bridge you can take down here and you're on the man cannon area, which I added on 1.86. And this is one of the teleporters. You can pretty much go in and oh shit. If we forget about that incident, we'll just keep going back on the spiral staircases of doom, because now there's an actual way to go back on it. If you just go in here, back to the teleporter, you can pretty much just go back to the central island. And if you wanted to go back, well, just take this teleporter and there you go. You're back here. Now we'll go to the Colosseum island. You can see that I did an effort to cover this, so there was not that much cross map sniping over here. And I covered this area except here, which I added a sniper spot for sniping. Nevertheless, I was very satisfied, but I felt like more was needed. Now we go to the Colosseum, the source of my problems. As you can see, it went to a massive downgrade from having too many ways in, ways out. Now it was very basic, no more props that were detailing the scenery. It was just the layout, and there you go. And you can see that it has changed the detail. As you can see, there are no more crates, no more missiles, just the loot, and there you go. Because in order to keep things simple and in accordance to the budget, I had to tone down the detail as much as I could. Now we arrive at the most stable version so far, 1.86. First of all, as you can see, the teleporters now work as intended and put you in a different place. And you could see before that the Colosseum is now way more simplified and consumes less props. Now, if we go out of the Colosseum, there are still the teleporters that go in and out, but this time there are actually two-way in teleporters, although chances are that they will be different. This is the middle island, the middle part, and as you can see, there's now a direct way out, and there's the man cannon that can thrust you up, as I described earlier. You just go in here, and of course it doesn't work properly because of thrust, and that's where I added warthogs. And also, here's proof that the ring actually works. Oh my god, a teleporting spawn. This is good. This is one of the features that 2.0 had, which is pretty much just offering more ways to connect the map while also not causing you to die immediately, which is something that it does. Nevertheless, I actually had a lot of fun making this. And pretty much one of the things that you can see from 2.0 was how it was opening up on some areas. You can see that there's a warthog over there, which was featured in 1.86, but it still needed more. And it was opening up, but also closing in some other areas. Most notably, the Montana AK Hemorrhage area suffered changes. Not really much changed on the middle island, except for this bridge that actually connects it directly to the Pinnacle Island. The Colosseum remained the same one as in 1.86, so no new changes over there.
Oh, they're the Tomato Town.
Add Tomato Town.
Oh shit. And by peer pressure, I added Tomato Town on 2.0 onwards. But there was one issue. It lacked a bridge on Pinnacle Island. Now we move on to 3.0. As you can see, I expanded a new area on the bridge that connects both the Central Island and the Pinnacle Island. And I introduced the Falcons. You can also... So pretty much you can just pick one of these up. And there you go. Also, one thing to... Oh sh... Also, you can notice that there's a link between the coast and the Pinnacle Island. If you're a parkour professional, this shouldn't be much of a hassle. For the rest of you, good luck. This man cannon was actually introduced in 2.0, so I forgot to show it, but here it is in action. You go from here, you get this custom power up that removes fall damage, and you land into here. The map is now somewhat smaller, so people don't have to die far away because they failed to get to the ring. And here's the reason why 3.1 was released. Just this damn teleporter. And now we reach 4.0, which is the current version, also known as Greenwinds 4. I actually used as a base the Trusty's new scheme type instead of COZI's. So you can see it shrinks in, the number of players, and the jetpack, which is the parachute, the equivalent. Overall, I felt like this was a solid step, and this is a new, better RNG system in place. So there's not much to show in this area because it received very little change compared to previous versions. If we go into here, here's the new parkour area. It's just very simple, just make a couple of jumps, and this one, which is jumping to rock to get to the man cannon platform. And the parkour in 4.0 over here, it has been revised. So because there are some spots where it was impossible to land on, and yeah, pretty much I just revised the parkour because there were spots that you couldn't land. Now if we go up here, on the other hand, there's a new way to go up the Colosseum, above it. There's this cube whirl, which is frenetic for 1v1s, and there's a falcon over there. and also a football. Now, this marks the end of our journey. I apologize for updating it so slow because I was dealing with anxiety and other personal issues that I went through and got my shit together. Nevertheless, I would like to thank my friends who pushed me into pumping more updates. COZI when it came to scripting and figuring out what the hell was wrong with the ring and being a cool person, and Project Autumn when it came to map design. If you want to see the Discord, link is in the description. Anyway, see you guys until next time.